Daniel, we're back, and we have this thing. It
Mm-hmm.
happens every December into
Okay.
January,
Okay.
and it's the most glorious time of the year.
It's the most
There,
wonderful time of the year.
there's much giving and
Mm-hmm.
receiving.
That's right.
There's much
Joy fills
jubilation
the air. Yep.
everywhere. You just breathe in and enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called bowl season.
Bowl season is
Daniel,
here.
it's bowl season. Daniel and I are going to come back. We're going to go through these bowls. We're going to give you our thoughts around college football of what to expect next on Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel. He is Clint. Thanks for being here. Today's video, obviously sponsored by BetOnline. I mean, how could it not be? It's bowl locks, after all. Before we get into the bowl locks, Clint, can I take a moment and address
You want the floor?
Todd McShay is a garbage can of a human person.
Todd
He has
McShay,
no credibility.
Nope.
The last time I saw him, he was climbing a crane at the University of Missouri football game.
Breathless because he has no athletic bone in his body.
None. He's got real Ohio State little brother energy next to his big brother Mel Kiper.
Yep.
And he out here just trying to say anything he can to get people to look at him.
I've seen now 3 sports commentators, and I'll use that in quotes loosely, try to use somebody else's success, accolades, and God-given talent that they've matured by discipline and hard work say, look at me, look at me, look at me, like a small child.
Interesting.
Okay, Doug Gottlieb, you're trash.
An actual criminal trash person.
Correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Todd McShay, you have now grouped yourself into that level of low degenerate sports person.
It's not reporting. You understand?
It's not reporting. It's
You're
pontificating.
It's saying things because they sound interesting.
I think Jalen Carter may slide because of character issues.
Got some character. That's not reporting.
He doesn't.
You've not heard that. You don't have sources. You've not even claiming to name sources.
Name them, Todd.
You have nothing. You're a waste of space. And anyone who retweets it or not just Jalen Carter, with any player is a loser. It's just an absolute. Let's take a shot at a kid in their early 20s, a young man in their early 20s, who's trying to live out their dream and accomplish their lifelong goals. Let's just take a shot at him because I'm not better at my job. That's what Todd McShay is doing. So just needed to address that.
All right. You got that off your chest?
Now
Feel better
let's
now?
get into some bowl locks.
We got some bowl
bet
locks.
money on college football, Clint. That's what we want to do.
Which is the most fantastic time of the year yet again. So, Daniel, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on going down this list. What we're going to do is we're going to start with Bowl 1, which
Bowl
comes
season
out.
starts today, y'all.
I was
You
just going to
understand?
say.
You need to get your mind right because if you're listening to this before 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, that's when the first bowl comes on today. And so Bahamas Bowl, it may already be on your TV. You need to get after it. So
Get on to BetOnline.
Priority 1 in your life. There are live betting options available if you are late to the party.
Live betting is good.
Let's just jump right into it, Clint. Bahamas Bowl, UAB, Miami of Ohio. Do you have a thought or a lock on this game? You're obligated to have a lock on it because it's the first bowl game of the season.
Look, UAB, better team. Clearly, they are favored by 11.5 points. The over-under on this is 44.5, which should clue you into something.
Number. That
should tell you something
that
unique.
is a Service Academy type number.
Miami of Ohio Redhawks. I don't know what kind of offense y'all got, but it ain't much.
No.
It's UAB Blazers. Daniel, they're gonna crush. They're gonna roll.
They're going to roll. Give me a Miami team total under here. I don't know. Just slide in with
whatever
of
it
those.
is. Whatever it is.
What's it, 12? I don't care. Give me that. Give
Okay.
me one of those. You don't like laying over 11 points in the first bowl game of the
It's
year.
hard.
If
It's
there's
hard.
any side I'm going to take, it's going to be Miami of Ohio. I might bet the under in this game. I might bet the Miami team total under. So you could do that. All right. Cure Bowl, Clint. Texas, San Antonio, and Troy. I'll jump in on this one because I love Troy in this game. Love to bet on Troy in this game. They are catching points. I've seen it at 1. I've seen it at 2.
Troy ain't catching points.
Troy catching points.
No, they're not. I got to give him 1.5.
I got him catching 1 right here. I'm looking at. So
What is going on?
Some discrepancy in the lines right now.
Hold on.
Okay. So I don't even care if they're giving 1, if they're catching 1, if they're giving 1.5. I love Troy in this game. I think they're the better team. You look at Troy 10-3 against the spread on the season versus Texas San Antonio. Both teams 11-2, by the way. Texas San Antonio 7-6 against the spread, though played more close games, have not performed as well as people typically think. Troy is that team this year. They are a physical team. They are a talented team. And so I actually really like Troy. This is a bet that I will be making.
Look, Troy's ranked, Daniel.
They're a good team.
23rd team in the nation. Took on Coastal. Coastal's having a down year, but historically has been pretty good. Good quarterback play. South Alabama, which is a good squad. If you guys haven't seen them play, we're going to get to them later in a bowl. Good squad. And they've taken teams to the Woodhouse. Western Kentucky, Marshall. They lost to App State, which was a close one. That one was a lot closer than I think people realize, 32-28. Mississippi, they lost to Ole Miss 28-10. But Daniel, he's not here, but the one I'm going with, I'm going to disagree with Daniel. I'm taking the Roadrunners. Give me the Roadrunners. I see them catching points, which is kind of unique, kind of weird, kind of strange. But they are catching points where I have them out. So Daniel, I completely disagree with you. I'm taking UTSA. I'm taking the Roadrunners.
I walk away for 2 seconds.
I know.
You're taking the Roadrunners.
I know. I was talking about how good Troy is as a team. Troy is a very, very good team, y'all. I think the Roadrunners have been building something since last year. I think Troy is building something this year. I think that's going to be the longevity that's needed in this game. And I got the Roadrunners catching points. This discrepancy is really bizarre, really weird. So Daniel, we're going to do one more before we go to break, and it is this. It's them fickleless. No longer the fighting Fickles.
Ain't got no fickle.
No.
Not a
you got a
single
fickle in the fight? I got no fickle in the fight. Bearcats are fickleless, and they're going up against the Cardinal of Louisville. This is a bad game for Cincinnati.
It's a bad game to watch.
It's a bad game for my eyeballs.
It's a bad game for so many. Are they going to do that thing where you got an interim coach, big interim coach energy, and Cincinnati comes out there and they do some things? Louisville don't act like they got a coach either. The team's in shambles. They just made a big coaching move, hired Braum from Purdue. That made Georgia fans sweat for about a week and a half because all of a sudden Braum left Purdue and that became relevant to us.
Important to some.
Todd Monken is not any good, and so
He's
nobody
not
wants
good.
to hire
You
him.
don't
Nobody
want him as a
needs
head
to
coach.
hire him.
He's old.
Go ahead and hire the kid that he lets sit next to him
All day.
and sometimes say things to him.
All day.
Georgia Tech, go ahead and hire him.
Yes, please.
But don't hire Todd Monken. That kid's the real brains behind the operation. Everybody knows that. I could not possibly want to stay away from this Louisville-Cincinnati game anymore. I got nothing.
Because you're right. I don't know if they're going to come out guns blazing. Bowl season, by the way, last year's bowls, a lot of underdogs came out and won. Daniel.
Yeah, it's very typical of a bowl season. You get these teams that based on regular season performance, seem like they should be favored. But anything goes in a bowl season. That's the thing.
Goes.
Anything goes. In a bowl
we're going to come back after this. All these bowl locks we're going to talk about going on to BetOnline. BetOnline's your sportsbook experts. They do everything that you need for all these locks. They got parlays, they got over-unders, they got in-live game betting, which is happening probably right now. Get over there. They're the official sportsbook experts of Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcasts everywhere. They are safe, they're reliable, they are quick with payouts, as well as getting you the news and scores that you want. BetOnline, your sportsbook experts.
All right, Clint. We've got... Let's do the second segment like this. We've got the New Mexico Bowl. We've got the LA Bowl, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
What team would have to be so lowly and pathetic as have to go to the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, Daniel?
That's tough. It's tough. We've got the Lending Tree Bowl. We've got the Las Vegas Bowl. And we've got the Frisco Bowl.
Ooh.
Of those bowls that I just named, where do you want to take us? Where do you want to go for some locks for the people?
Daniel, I want to go to the Washington State Cougars and the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Yikes. Okay.
Daniel, let's go on over there. Because here's what happened. Fresno State came out and bullyballed their way to a conference championship in which I did not see coming. I did not see them winning their conference, and they came out and they did so. The quarterback for Fresno State's getting some look into the draft, which is quite impressive. They have a talented coach. They have a talented roster.
Say more.
And they are playing for a lot of pride.
Okay.
Washington State Cougars, on the other hand, are not. To anything I just said.
Interesting. A bit of a contrast of styles here.
One could say that. Give me Fresno State. It's right now 3. Give me Fresno State Bulldogs laying the points to the Cougars all day long.
You're laying 3 with Fresno.
Correct.
I will catch those 3 with Washington State gladly.
Wow.
Washington State's going to win this game. I wouldn't even mess with the 3. I'd just go ahead and put it right on the money line. Washington State's going to win this game. Washington State's a talented team. Washington State's a good football team. If they come out playing, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, if they come out playing in this game, they're a much better team than Fresno is. That quarterback, while talented at Fresno State, has had a bit of an up and down year. Has not necessarily been all that consistent, and so I like the Cougars a lot in this matchup. I liked them as a short favorite, which is where the line opened. But now catching points, I think it's even better for me. I'll take it all day long. And then I'm going to take you to the Las Vegas Bowl, Oregon State versus, I'm sorry, is that Florida? Are they playing in a bowl game before the week before Christmas?
Florida.
A week before Christmas.
Florida.
You're telling me that Florida is out here 1 week prior to Christmas playing in a bowl game against Oregon State.
Against the Beavs. And what if I was to tell you, within that context, wait, the parentheses of context isn't over because they're a double-digit dog.
I mean, a big old dog. Like a big old dog.
Yes, sir.
I liked this line when it opened, but obviously so did everyone else in the world. I'm not laying double digits with Oregon State. I would not dream of doing that.
No.
I'll tell you what I will do, Clint. Give me the under 55 in this game. This is going to be a low-scoring affair. This is not going to be an up and down. Under 55 is a bet that I like a lot.
Quick question, Daniel. Just very simply. Can you name more than one quarterback? No, over under 0.5 quarterbacks you can name on Florida.
Nope. It's a hard under.
Okay, well.
Is Emory Jones still there? Do we still have an Emory Jones sighting? No? Okay.
No?
So, no. Yeah. It's not going to be
Give me that under all day long as well. I don't want anything to do with double digits either way of this game. Again, Bulls get crazy, Bulls get wacky. I don't want any part of it. I do lean the Beavs way. Daniel, those are all the games on the 18th that I have any fight in.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Well, no. Where you want to go next?
Let's go to Monday, December 19th.
Okay.
Daniel.
Myrtle Beach? Head on down to Myrtle Beach?
Get on down to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, boy.
We got the Marshall Thundering Herd against the Connecticut Huskies. Now,
I love this game too. I'm glad you like it. I've got a very strong pick in it.
Marshall played some good teams this year. Okay.
They did.
Marshall played many of the teams we've already spoken high praise about. Daniel?
Yeah. Marshall, a good team.
Marshall's a good team. They ain't gonna do nothing against the Connecticut Huskies. Well-coached team.
Jim Moore.
Look, I can make fun of Jim Moore, and we all should, because
we
Jim
all
Moore
can and should.
He's a laughable coach, but he got Connecticut playing hard, y'all.
He does.
And not just playing hard. They got some cats in there that could run around. I'm catching 10 points.
It's a lot of points. It's double digits.
Double digits again. Chaos bowl season. Give me all them points. As a matter of fact, just sprinkle some on that money line.
Points. I love that. I love UConn in this matchup. I feel the exact same way. I'm going to give you one more before we go to break, and it is Toledo Liberty.
Oh, Clint. That was not on my card. So
interesting Liberty angle.
Tuesday, December 20th.
Hugh Freeze,
no longer there.
Notably has left Liberty. He has just absolutely scandaled his way down to.
No, I think he meant scampered, Daniel.
Same. It's Hugh Freeze. So
okay. Slithered.
Two things can be true at the same time. Right. He down there at Auburn, a program that cares about ethics and morality. They care about. We have not spent enough time on this podcast making fun of Auburn, Clint. That's the reason I brought up this game. We have not done our due diligence. We've let the people down. We have disappointed literally 200 listeners. We've disappointed them all by not talking.
The man was in a hospital bed. Hand to God, asking for prayer requests from the nursing home, and he out here after getting.
He's asking for prayer requests from the nursing home, but he was asking that please no one look at my cell phone. Please do not inspect my cell phone.
Please don't ask recruits what they did on the trip.
That's not what we want to talk about. I'm taking Liberty in this game. I'm taking a little Hugh Freeze. I actually think Toledo is an underperforming team from the MAC. They won the MAC. You might have watched some action on Tuesday nights, and so you might have seen some Toledo this year. I actually think that they're worse than their record. I think they're an underperforming team, and so I actually like Liberty. They are more talented. If they can find the focus without a coach to come out here, they should beat Toledo by more than a touchdown. And so I'm very comfortable. Even if I have to lay a short number with Liberty, I'm very comfortable with it.
Daniel is as comfortable as Hugh Freeze is
Please never compare me to Hugh Freeze. Please.
If you and Hugh Freeze, if you got a buddy like, you know who you remind me of? And you say, I swear, if you say Hugh Freeze, I'm going to shank you.
That's not ever the thing.
Look, I can't say if Hugh Freeze is currently on a yacht with Urban or not. I can't either confirm nor deny.
Ohio State fans is that we don't know.
I don't know.
So we're not out here reporting that Hugh Freeze and Urban Meyer were seen on a yacht together. We would never say that.
I can't say that.
Because we don't know.
I don't know.
It's just that we don't know that they weren't.
And you can't prove otherwise. But what I can prove is this. Drinking and driving is stupid, foolish, dumb, moronic. Need I say more?
Say more. No, more things is fine.
Okay, more things. The National Highway Safety Traffic Administration wants to let you know this is the season to celebrate, but celebrate responsibly, please. We beg you. We beseech you. We plead with you. If you are drinking, if you are partying, if you're having a good time, which you should be doing, in this Bowl Mania season, you should do so knowing that you can sleep where you're at, you can get a ride, you can walk, you can pay somebody else to drive you home, and you can show all of the receipts of what you paid somebody to drive you home in to others without fear of being prohibited from coaching college football, unlike Hugh Freeze.
Boy, you really worked for that one.
I did. I
really
did.
went and got it.
I did, but I got it. Don't drink and drive. You will get pulled over. You'll go to jail. Don't smoke high and drive. You will get pulled over and go to jail. Please celebrate responsibly.
All right, Clint. Third segment listeners.
Ooh.
I'll start on Wednesday, December 21st and following. We got the New Orleans Bowl. We got the
Yes,
Armed
sir.
Forces Bowl.
Yes, sir.
We got the Independence Bowl. We got the Gasparilla Bowl, one of my personal favorites. We got the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas
just keeps
Eve.
coming and coming and coming.
The Quick Lane Bowl. The Camellia Bowl.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Have you ever put a first responder in a bowl before? I haven't, but you could. The entire city of Birmingham apparently fits in a bowl. And then you got the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which I don't even know what that would, what the joke would be.
It's a mortgage. It's
okay.
It's a, you know.
You put the paperwork in the bowl.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's right.
Where do you want to go from that wide array of slate?
Look, I want to start first with a small man who is going to get exposed for being a small petty coach.
Yikes! Coming in hot.
The Missouri Tigers, Daniel, have notably denied a bowl game because they didn't think a team was up to their standard.
You mean they thought that team would whip their tails? That's what you mean.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
I meant that they thought Kansas was going to go up and down the field on them, so they tried to cherry pick the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now, Daniel,
why are we adding Texas and Oklahoma without getting rid of Vanderbilt and Missouri? Why? Ask the questions. Why are we adding these teams without getting rid of the trash?
How many games into the season next year before Drinkovitz is canned?
I don't know. I think they kind of like him, Clint.
Do you?
I do.
You know what?
How many games into the season next year before Todd McShay's back in that crane?
Are they still doing construction?
They are probably still under construction. Clint.
You tell me this. There is still a hilltop somewhere in Missouri.
Somewhere there's a hilltop full of rocks that people pitch a blanket out on, eat Funyuns, and watch a football game. That's what they do that's the SEC, folks.
Welcome to Missouri. Wake Forest Demon Deacons are going to stomp Missouri.
Yikes.
They're going to stomp Missouri. Missouri has already seen players start hitting the portal. They've already seen players decommit. Demon Deacons have not. Demon Deacons have this, for lack of a better term, this momentum heading into ACC play next year, Daniel. They're actually a team that had highs this year, saw success, have the pattern for it. The spread is only one. They are giving a point to Mizzou.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That's a ridiculous spread. I like that. I also like the over in that game, Clint.
Ooh, over is 60.5.
I think it's going to be up and down the field. I understand that, some offensive weapons for Wake Forest probably not going to play,
sure,
but
the system will.
The coach is going to play. You understand? Eli Drinkovitz is going to play. And so I think you're going to see two offenses that are going to try to score, and so I really like that a lot. I'm going to go to I'm going to go down the list, and I'm going to go all the way down to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl on the 27th. Wisconsin, Oklahoma State.
Here we go. Yep.
Clint. At one point, do you remember this? This is wild. At one point this year, Oklahoma State was ranked in the top 10. Are you aware of that?
At one point this year, Oklahoma State was picked by many people to go to the college football playoff, Daniel.
Thought to be good. And then what happened is, it kind of got overshadowed because of a lot of the craziness of the rest of the college football season.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma State collapsed in a way that I thought I was watching the Mets play coming down the stretch of a division race. It was like they just forgot how to play football. Now, Wisconsin, on the other hand, Ohio State fans, has been terrible all season long.
All year.
They're not good. Just like every team in the Big Ten except for 3. So the question of this game is, in this 3-week period, did Oklahoma State and Old Mullet figure something out? Is he going to be able to pull the right strings, or has this team absolutely, completely quit? They showed a little fight against Oklahoma. It's a rivalry game.
A little.
But they still got boat raced in that game by an Oklahoma team that's terrible. I think the team's completely quit. I think Wisconsin walks all over them in this game. I think Wisconsin rolls them up.
Daniel, really quick, coaching change. Wanted to play for interim coach. What about wanted to play for a new coach minted onto your staff that has eyeballs everywhere, looking, bringing something new? The fickleless Bearcats.
Oh yeah,
Daniel, are not fickleless.
But they're nice and fickled.
They are fickled up.
Well fickled.
That's correct. Wisconsin is going to steamroll Oklahoma State.
I really do think so.
The state of Oklahoma is now void of any good football.
That's accurate.
So it's hard.
Tulsa? Maybe best team in Oklahoma?
Tulsa can score some points.
Tulsa could be the best team in Oklahoma.
Say we're wrong.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I think Oklahoma State has quit. I think the Pokes are done. I think Wisconsin has a lot. They got players, Daniel. They recruit all the time. They got players.
They do have
now they got a new coaching staff. They have something to fight for, have something to play for. So, yes, I think Wisconsin does do that as well. We're going to come back next week with more of these locks because there's plenty to choose from. We might go back.
A lot of meat left on the bone.
A lot of meat. I mean, East Carolina's still out there. Utah State, Memphis is a game I'm looking at. I know that's crazy.
We've only covered, to be clear, the scrubs of college football.
We're not
playing
to the
in
good
these
stuff.
early bowl. Yeah, we have not gotten to the real teams. Like the true blue blood type programs. If you're playing in one of these pre-Christmas bowl games, I mean, what kind of shambles does your program have to be in? It's like a one-time Sun Belt champion type of situation there at your program. So there's lots more to talk about is the point. We're going to be back next week. We got more to discuss about Ohio State, more to discuss about this Georgia football team. We've got early enrollees coming in. We've got recruiting talk we need to get to. There's so much happening. It's a busy time of year. Early signing day is coming. Stay locked and loaded with the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Subscribe to the audio, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast. If you're over on YouTube, go subscribe to one of those audio channels. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We would appreciate that quite a bit. Thanks so much for listening, as always, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.